Well, it was fun hanging around in Doga's Manor, but now we have our own flying home base, where we can read even more letters. Who's it from today? I'm gonna say we're gonna talk to good old Taka. Is this an advertisement? Taka, are you advertising a human being to us? Also one who is better at smithing than you are? Come on, man. I mean, I'll definitely believe that there is a better smith than you, but that doesn't mean you have to tell me about him. Maybe it's something to keep in mind for later. If I ever need smithing, don't go to Taka, go to this other person who is very legendary and fantastic. Right, so our destination today is the Cave of Shadows, where we're going to find the final Fang, so we can pass that last statue that will kill us if we try to pass it. So, the Cave of Shadows is all the way over here. So, are you ready for the most fun segment in the game? I hope you are, cause it's coming up now. So not only do you need the Invincible to pass all of these tiny mountains, but you have to go through an entire maze to get to the Cave of Shadows. A very long, boring maze with this very slow airship bobbing up and down. Like, come on guys, I'm not going to accidentally pass one mountain range. You don't need to make me prove that I've gone and gotten the Invincible. It's really not necessary. You just need the one mountain range. Okay, maybe two if you really feel it necessary, but an entire maze? Really? Hey, at least the Cave of Shadows itself isn't too bad. Well, actually, no, I tell a lie. It is a very, very confusing... Well, okay, I don't know if I'd add that many varies to it, but it's not exactly the easiest dungeon to navigate. There are a lot of secret passages, and of course, most of the enemies in this dungeon have the usual splitting gimmick. I say usual like it's not just a thing that we've started having to deal with. We remember these guys from the last area, right? I'd say about half of these enemies are probably from Falgabard, which, to be fair, is an optional area. You don't have to go to that town, but considering how many good swords are there, I would suggest going there and getting some stuff. I mean, Dante here, he's got a pretty good advantage, what with having two swords, and basically, there's no way he'll make the enemies accidentally split. Then you have Xavier, whose bell beatdowns are so great that they just kill the enemies anyway. I don't need to worry about it. That Black Musk is, it kills things instantly, which is kind of gross when you think about it. Take this, I have a very, very bad smell. The air is terrible. Take that, you are now dead. Maybe it was not your sword that was weak, but it was you who was weak. For the sword is merely a tool which you use to fight. So it is you who was weak and needs to fight better. Oh, well, he just disappeared and we're sad now. Alright, well, I guess I'll have Ayla dual-wielding at this point because that's another sword. We've seen that one before. In fact, it was one that we're already holding. I mean, there are a fair few Dark Blades, but that one, to be fair, is very good, and now we're dual-wielding it, so that's pretty great. Alright, what is it now? Oh dear, it's a Hell Horse. At least I think... Oh wait, no, they're not full Hell Horses. They're only Hell-ish horses, you know. Just a little Hell. Not too much. I mean, in the NES version, yeah, they were full-on Hell Horses, but just a little bit now. They got toned down for the DS version. Now, the nice thing about Hellish Horses is they don't split. They can cast Thundara, but they don't split. So you know what? I'm fine with that. If they only want to split, sure, yeah, that's A-okay by me. And the other dude is a Vasigo. Nope, they don't do anything but split. This is actually a pretty good enemy combination for me, because if I was smart, I'd attack the Hellish horse with William, since his magic is probably the only thing that will activate the split ability. Dante and Ayla are dual-wielding blades that even if they don't kill, they won't split the enemy. As for Xavier, I don't know if anything here has any more than 5,000 HP, and if they don't, well, Bell Beatdown will end them immediately. And yeah, that's a pretty good combination, though. To be fair, those last set of enemies were kind of a tough combination. Not even tough, really. I'd say more draining. You know, they might take some health from you, forcing you to heal, but they probably won't out-and-out kill anybody. That's a good way to describe it, I think. So, as I said, this area is fairly maze-like. A whole lot of secret passages, so we're gonna be wandering around in the dark here. And this is actually the first of a fair few dungeons. Well, it might not be the first. I think there were some differences in the ancient cave, but this one is wildly different from the NES version. Like, if you look up the maps for the NES version and try to follow along, you're gonna get lost, because there's a whole lot of things that are just changed around. Some kind of short, pointless rooms were cut out, I think. You know, just some rooms with stairs and not much more. If I remember correctly, I could be wrong on that, but yeah, just a lot of the passages are a whole lot different, and it can be confusing if you're trying to use one map instead of the other. There are DS maps available, but for the most part, most of the dungeons were fairly true to the original NES version, with the exception of the mini dungeons. And I think that is actually a Kronos, not one of the guys we saw earlier, one of the ones in Falgabard, who is also in this dungeon, just FYI. The recolor is in the same dungeon as the original version. That's always great when they're that lazy. So Kronos here, same deal. Splits, doesn't do anything else. Yeah, the enemies are really weak. I mean, I can't believe I'm saying this, but seriously, guys, you don't have more status effects, you don't have any other sort of gimmick you can do. I mean, yeah, sure, it was mildly annoying earlier, but, I mean, I don't know, just the splitting thing, like I said before, I've got a pretty solid defense against it. The only one who's really going to activate your split ability is attacking Hellish Horse. I mean, now it can't because I caved in the other dude, but still. And down goes the last dude. See, easy battle. It's really weird. Earlier on in the game, I felt like Final Fantasy III was tougher, and now that I can handle tougher things because I actually feel like my jobs are doing a good job at actually being effective, now it feels like everything's too easy. Maybe my jobs are too effective. Though in that case, I wouldn't mind too much. If I felt this was easy because I'm just so amazing and I kick everything's ass because my jobs are just that cool, yeah, sure, I'm down with that. But I don't know, it doesn't really feel like that's the case. Would be pretty satisfying if it were, but pretty sure it's not. By the way, did I mention there aren't that many new enemies? Oh, we got another one of those swords. Seriously. They're all over the place. They really want you to have those dark blades. Oh, Genji shield. Yes, that's right. This is the dungeon where you get the Genji equipment. The Genji equipment isn't the outright best equipment in the game, but it is pretty damn good. I think it's also somewhat light as well. It's not the lightest, so mages can't use it as far as I know, but, you know, classes like, I think Dark Knight can use it. Obviously, Onion Knight can use it, but stuff like the Diamond and the later Crystal equipment is a lot better than it. But still though, Genji equipment pretty darn good, and I'm sorry I didn't point that out sooner. Genji equipment generally is some of the best equipment in the game in most Final Fantasies where it's available. There's no Genji sword, unless they added one in a game I haven't played, but yeah, for the most part, it's just the armors. But again, very, very good armor from game to game. It's not in every game like it wasn't in the last two, but I know for a fact that it's in 5, and I think in 4? And at that point, I'm just kind of going off the rail. I should really be focusing on the dungeon because we're actually at the boss now, so no time for tangents, sadly. Hey look, it's that horn that William had earlier when he was vibrating violently. Oh no, purple dandruff! And now we must face Hecatoncheir. Yeah, great name there, pal. So this guy doesn't really have too much going for him. Pretty much just Quake, that's his only magic spell. And as for stats, he's got 30,000 HP, 89 attack, and 32 defense, and yeah, 89 attack, so if you were able to beat that ninja earlier, well, you could probably beat this guy. I mean, to be fair, Quake is a fairly powerful spell, damages the entire party, but honestly, it's not a huge threat. And seriously, look at that bell beat down. Always a very effective strategy, that. Let's see his damage. See, that was hardly anything at all. Sure, he can attack twice, but he ain't doing a thing. And yeah, I'm hasting here, but I think this is actually about the point where I finally remembered. Oh yeah, Protect and Haste are very slow to go on. Oh, that's lovely, that's lovely. And yeah, I'm just gonna be healing at this point. But at the very least, I think Ayla needs it the most. I mean, to be fair, Xavier could also use some hasting, but to be fair, he's bell beat downing pretty well at this point. Oh, and I'm earthquaking him instead. See, now the shoe's on the other foot. I mean, it's not like there's actually an earth element in this game. It's just fire, ice, and lightning. Oh, actually, no, there's also water and wind. Oh yeah, and of course there's light, which is both holy and also the healing spells, so that's why undead enemies are weak to lights. They're weak to both of those. But yeah, there's no earth element in this game, so nothing can absorb it, and nothing can be weak to it. So really, it is just kind of a fancy all-party attack. Oh yeah, and also for some reason, aerial enemies can be hit by Quake in this game. I don't quite get why. I'd say they hadn't figured that out by this point, but this is the remake. They could have added a float spell so that you could avoid it, or have enemies who always have the float spell on, like, I don't know, flying enemies? You'd think, but nope, gotta stick close to the NES version. Because that's what everyone enjoys, NES RPGs, which were just so very well made. I mean, I guess in fairness, they didn't have to shorten spell names, or sword names, or anything like that, so that's nice. We didn't just use soul. Can't even pronounce that with minimal vowels. Oh, and that's it for him. Did he even use Quake? I don't think he did. Well, good job there, Hecatoncheir. You existed. You stalled us for a while, I guess. Zonde would be proud. Actually, no, he wouldn't be. Hooray! Yeah, we're not doing that just yet. Because, see, the thing is, first off, I couldn't do that at this level. Second off, well, there is one thing I would like to do before actually getting around to that. Actually, technically speaking, there are a few other things as well that I don't know if I'm going to do before or after Doga's Manor, but, I do have stuff to do. Because, next time on Final Fantasy III, we're gonna take a trip on down past those statues so we can get the final set of jobs. Won't that be exciting?